Good afternoon. This is the second meeting of the Special FC, and will last from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and it will be divided into 3 sessions. So please take your seats according to our convention. And the purpose of the meeting is to scrutinize the administration's budget estimates in 2014-15 to make sure that the allocations given to the administration in this year will not be more than is necessary for implementing the relevant policies. I'd like to remind members that you need to press the button if you want to speak, and I will allocate the time to you accordingly. I also want to remind you that the questions have to be directly related to the estimates. And if you want to follow a question or the answer up, then please make reference to the reply serial number, say for example CMA B001. To facilitate today's meeting, members and officials can make use of the computer to search the replies, and the clerk will also show the reply serial number on the screen. If time is not adequate for members to ask all the questions, members may follow the matter up at the relevant panels. This is the session for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs. If I may call upon the Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs to and also his team to enter this room, and the Secretary will give us a short speech. Thank you, Chairman. I wish to brief members on the main points of the financial estimates of the Bureau. In 2014-15, our Bureau is allocated $582.9 million, which is $85.1 million more than the revised estimate 2013-14 or 17.1%. The estimated increases are spent on mainly on the following items. A. Carry out the public consultation on methods for selection CE in 2017 and forming of LegCo in 2016. B. Set up a new ETO in Wuhan and making preparatory work to set up liaison units in northern and eastern regions of mainland to further enhance the service network and coverage. C. Hosting the 10th Pan-Po River Delta Region Cooperation and Development Forum Trade Symposium jointly with Guangdong Office and Macau Special Administration Region. D. Promoting understanding of ethnic minorities and equal opportunities, people with different sexual orientations and transgenders. And E. Increasing subvention to strengthen the capacity of EOC and OPCPD to discharge their statutory duties. As for constitutional development, the SARG is currently consulting the public on methods of selecting a C in 2017 and forming LegCo in 2016. Since the start of consultation until yesterday, we've attended more than 100 events, and at present, we have received over more than 20,000 written submissions. At the end of the consultation period, the views will be collected and collated to assist the CE in filing its report to the Chief Executive and start the first step for the implementation of universal suffrage. SARG will do its best to forge a consensus in the community. In this regard, in 2014-15, we have set aside about $12 million and created 7-time limited posts for public consultation for the 2 electoral methods. As for promoting the basic law, in 2014-15, we've earmarked about $16 million for organizing promotion activities to facilitate public's awareness and understanding of basic law. The focus of promotion efforts this year includes constitutional development basis of the basic law. As for electoral arrangements, in accordance with the Electoral Affairs Commission Ordinance, Cap 541, one of the functions of the EAC is to review the boundaries of district council constituencies for the purpose of making recommendations on the delineation of boundaries and naming of constituencies for a district council election. For for the 2015 District Council election, the AAC should submit its report and recommendations to the Chief Executive by 5th of November 2014. The report shall then be considered by the Chief Executive in Council, which will follow up the decision of the CE in Council and amend the relevant legislative provisions accordingly. As a voter registration, the campaign has been launched in the first half of March. The REO will encourage eligible persons, particularly young people aged above 18, to register as electors and remind registered electors to update their registration particulars in a timely manner. The REO will also continue to implement checking measures to ensure the accuracy of the registered particulars. In 2014-15, the estimated total provision in human rights under the Bureau, including subventions to the EOC and OPCPD, amounts to $193 million. This represents an increase of $14.2 million when compared with the revised estimate of 2013-14 at $178.8 million. The administration will promote racial equality through enhanced publicity in public education. The administration will cooperate with RTHK to produce a TV series and conduct a school outreaching program to help the public understand the cultures and customs of ethnic minorities, overcome barriers, and eliminate discrimination. Estimated expenditure is about $3.35 million. To better address issues of discrimination faced by sexual minorities, we established a dedicated advisory group last June to advise on matters especially relating to concerns about discrimination faced by sexual minorities. On the advice of the advisory group, we have commissioned a consultant to conduct a study about whether sexual minorities are discriminated against in Hong Kong, and if so, the discrimination they experienced and how they responded to it. The study is in progress. The results of the study would form basis of further consideration by the advisory group on how to take forward its work. We will also continue to strengthen the promotion of equal opportunities for people with different sexual orientations and transgenders through public education publicity, including further increasing the provision for the Equal Opportunities Sexual Orientation Funding Scheme, continuing to promote a code of practice against discrimination in employment on the ground of sexual orientation to different levels of management in public and private sector organizations, and promoting message concerns through various channels and platforms. The ACRG is determined to promote children's rights in 2014-15. We've earmarked about $1.25 million, excluding staff costs, for implementing programs for enhancing children's rights promotion. We will continue to promote children's rights through, inter alia, the Children's Rights Education Funding Scheme, the Children's Rights Forum, and continued efforts in publicity and public education. The EOC continues to be responsible for the implementation of four anti-discrimination ordinances, including Sex Discrimination Ordinance, Disability Discrimination Ordinance, Family Status Discrimination Ordinance, and Race Discrimination Ordinance. The total subvention of the EOC 2014-15 is $101.4 million, which is an increase of about $7.2 million, 76% over the revised estimate previous year. The PCPD continues to enforce the PDPO. In 2014-15, we propose to allocate $68.4 million to the PCPD, which represents a 5.9% increase over the 2013-14 revised estimate of $64.6 million. This includes additional subvention of $4.2 million to enable the office to create 7 additional posts. In 2014-15, the financial provision of Program 3 for Mainland and Taiwan office is $251.6 million, representing an increase of 22.4% compared to the revised estimate of 2013-14. Implementation policy initiative outlined in the chapter on Hong Kong and Macau of the National 12-5-year plan in the SARG major area of work. The steering committee, chaired by Chief Executive Administration, has all along been providing steering coordination for relevant policies, bureaus, and department on implementation of various policies and initiatives. Under One Country, Two Systems, the SARG has also commenced the groundwork to complement the drafting of a national 13-5-year plan. At this stage, relevant bureaus and departments consulting relevant sectors and advisory committees solicit their views on the initial identified topics for study. It's announced in the PA this year that we will set up more liaison units in the mainland, strengthen economic and trade relations between Hong Kong and the mainland through G2G cooperation. Firstly, we intend to set up a liaison unit under Beijing office in the northern region this year. Having studied the matter, we consider Shenyang City Liaoning Province's preferred location to set up the liaison unit so as to facilitate Hong Kong residents and enterprises in capitalizing on opportunities over there. As the next step, we plan to set up a liaison unit in the Eastern region under Shanghai ETO next year, as the geographical coverage of Shanghai ETO will be adjusted upon the establishment of Wuhan ETO. We will decide the location of the liaison unit in the Eastern region in the light of the new coverage. At a later stage, besides, the Wuhan ETO will also formally commence its operation today in a temporary office. Although it takes time for staff deployment, Director of Wuhan ETO is speeding up to identify suitable office premises. The staff that have reported duty will strive to actively provide support to Hong Kong residents and bodies and to enhance the exchanges and cooperation between Hong Kong and provinces in the Central Region. To deepen regional cooperation with Mainland, we will continue to enhance communication and cooperation with Guangdong and PPRD region, the municipalities of Shanghai and Beijing, and promote strength Hong Kong and its economic and trade relations with regions. Concerned, we will also host a 10th PPRD Cooperation Development Forum cum Trade Symposium jointly with Guangdong Province and Macau SAR. We are in discussion with government of Guangdong and Macau on the details of related activities with a view to organizing a successful forum which will facilitate investment to go in and out of PPRD provinces and could open up business opportunities for our trade and make the most of Hong Kong's role as super connector. Hong Kong and Taiwan continue to conduct exchanges, cooperation, public policy areas through the Hong Kong-Taiwan Economic, Cultural Cooperation and Promotional Council and Taiwan-Hong Kong Economic Cultural Cooperation Council. In addition, Hong Kong ETCO in Taiwan will continue to promote Hong Kong's organizing and participating in various activities. Thank you. I and my colleagues are happy to answer members' questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. To facilitate the conduct of meeting, and I've also checked the numbers of members. Each will have 4 minutes for questions and answers, and please be concise in your questions to allow sufficient time for the administration to reply. So please control your time so that we may have a second round. First, Mr. Wong Kwok Heng. Thank you. I'd like to ask a question about the second and third part of his speech. That is Constitution, Development and Promotion of the Basic Law. Today is April Fool's Day, and I would like to ask how the administration will not be fooled, or will not pull wool over the public's eyes, or will not ensure that people will not be fooled and misled by wrong public opinion. Recently, students occupied the legislature yuan in Taiwan and also attacked their executive yuan. And wrong message, you see, can influence people. True and correct message is very important to people. So as far as the election or public consultation of the C election and electrical election is concerned, how can the government ensure that the people or the right message can get across to people? The consultation will end in a month or so's time, and yet the government is still saying that is still chanting this slogan, "Let's talk." I've asked the administration to hammer home this correct message of one person, one vote to the community. I think it is important that the community can understand and support this message. However, if you breach the law or breach the Constitution, it is now called universal values or international standards. These wrong concepts have pulled over people's eye, and people can be so blatant and they want to call wrong right. So I'd like to ask the administration when it is willing to tell the public a proper message, correct and a legal message, and that is one person, one vote, universal suffrage must comply with our Constitution and law. Secretary, yes, Starting from the beginning of our public consultation, we've always said that electoral reforms must be done through legislative amendment, and it must comply with the basic law and decisions of the MPCSC. In our consultation document, in our publicity, and in the over 100 events I mentioned just now, we have explained this to the media and also the audience present. In the public consultation period, we noted that more and more people agree that we must proceed according to the basic law and decisions of the MPCSC. For specific matters, if there is room for us to maneuver in the basic law, we hope that there can be different proposals for more options for the public to discuss. But we've always stressed the important message that everything must be within the law and must comply with our constitution. We will also publicize specific provisions of the basic law. In APIs, we will prepare new APIs to talk about Article 45 of the Basic Law. We believe that such new APIs will appear on TV very soon. We hope that this will assist the public to better understand the relevant message or information. Today is April Fool's Day. I hope the administration must remember that wrong public opinion must not be allowed to pull wool over people's eyes. Mr. Sing Chong Kai. Yes, today is April Fool's Day, but it is Beijing that has fooled the people of Hong Kong. They talk about the block votes system and also screening methods. And the three men ban has increased its provision to $33.15 million, and they keep asking us to talk. I don't see the basis for that talk. Secretary, do believe that by publicity you can change public opinion. Basically, people do not trust that the Beijing government will allow Hong Kong to have universal suffrage without screening. So what is the point of spending another $12 million for publicity? Now you talk about consultation and publicity. You talk about 100 events. So I'd like to know whether you have funded those events or were they organized by other organizations. Otherwise, you're only spending the money on publicity. So this $8.5 million, will it be for publicizing your preferred option or what? And can you tell the public that the final electoral package will not involve any screening? Secretary. In the publicity events and consultation forums, we hope that members of the public can give us their views during the consultation period. And using our consultation document and publicity, we want to engage their interest. And there is also basic information, including decisions by MPCSC, so that they can have the legal basis. And we are helping them to offer different views. We are not publicizing any particular package or option in our publicity. We hope that members of the public can discuss different options with good legal basis. No, I'm talking about that you are going to spend $8.5 million on publicity, and I'm talking about 2013-14. Please refer to question or reply number 041. You have earmarked $8.5 million for publicity. And Fanny Law said that there must be screening of candidates by Beijing first. So it's very clear that Beijing will screen the candidates for Hong Kong people to vote on. So this $8.5 million, is it going to be spent on publicizing that final option with screening? Well, no one except the CE and also the 3 members in the task force and authorized persons can speak on behalf of the government, and other persons are entitled to speak to represent themselves. And as we've explained, after we've completed our consultation, we will submit views to the MPCC, hoping to start the 5-step process, and then we will have a second round of public consultation. We have to prepare print publicity materials and APIs, and therefore in 2013-14 we still have the earmarked money for that. Professor Kenneth Chen, may I refer to reply number CMAB 050. We understand that $12 million have been set aside for public consultation. But if you look at the reply in 050, most of the money, over $8 million, will be sent on public consultation, and $3 million on publicity, and others will include the postage, delivery, website development and maintenance, etc. Well, you have recently given us some plastic pens. How can these pens help the public to forge consensus? So what is the point of this publicity? It has put the cart before the horse. It's useless. Secretary, in similar consultation exercise, we found out that if we can hand out souvenirs with the website of our public consultation exercise on it, that will facilitate the public to find the relevant information from the website. So we believe that it is a worthwhile exercise. Those souvenirs are not very special. They are practical, and the relevant website can be found there to assist the public to remember the website. And that's it. I hope the Secretary can hear clearly what's said by the community. We want universal suffrage, and souvenirs should be minimized. Please do not waste money on such things. What will attract the people is genuine universal suffrage and also a mechanism for civic nomination. And then, how much in your provision will be spent on opinion polls? Are you going to sponsor any opinion polls? RTHK is going to conduct an opinion poll on the 16th, or conduct an opinion poll on the 16th of March. The consultation period will end in about a month's time. We have no intention to do an opinion poll now. At the second stage, public consultation, when we have got our preferred option, we will not rule out that possibility. When it be, we will have resources here to fund such opinion polls. This is important because the draft estimates are silent on this. We would like to keep an eye on the government as to how it is going to conduct opinion polls. We'd ask the One Country, Two System Institute or Mr. Zhang Qigong to do it. It is important that you have opinion polls like the one conducted by the RTHK on the 16th of March. There was public consultation, there was discussion, and then after that discussion, people for public nomination rose from 56% to 70%. So you have to bear in mind that this is very important. And will you organize a debate similar to the one between Ms. Audrey Yu and Mr. Donald Zhang? I think it will surely be more effective than handing out 10,000 pens. Yes, we will take reference from the opinion poll conducted by RTHK on the 16th. We will consider whether we will use the ordinary approach or others are done by academic institute. And as for the last debate, I'm not inclined to hold a similar one. Ms. Emily Lau. I'd like to follow up on reply number 018, expenses on entertainment and gifts. Now, it is said here that recently the civil service has enjoyed a rise on the expenses for entertainment and gifts, and $450 and $600. That will include the expenses on food and beverage and also tips. I think is this condition added because of Timothy Tong, or has this always been here? Now, in the past few years, 160,000, 139,000, 116,000 respectively, the actual expenses in the past few years. I'd like to know whether this would cover all your entertainment, including Mainland officials, or do you have another envelope for that? All right. My colleague will answer the question about ETOs. Ms. Emily Lau? This cap of $150 and $600 per person for dinner was recently been adjusted, and whether no, I'm asking whether this is something new because of Timothy Fogg, or has it always been here? It's just that people did not follow it. I think it's been clearly listed out that the cap will cover all expenses on food and beverages, including charges and tips. So in the past, there was no such provision. Yes, recently it's been clearly added. Second question. Yes, we are talking about money on entertainment and gifts within the CMAB. So these are actual expenditures. It fluctuates. This year it has actually been lower. Yes, we will follow strictly guidelines by the government. We will not exceed that cap. But sometimes Mainland officials may come here and you have to entertain them, and sometimes you also have visits to the mainland to receive their entertainment. So it's because there has been fewer visits from the mainland, to the effect that the actual expenditure has dropped. Well, yes, in the new term of central government, indeed, such activities have greatly dropped, including both visits from Hong Kong officials and vice versa.
On gifts, is it also a new arrangement it should be avoided as far as possible, and if it is unavoidable, then it should not be extravagant. Is it that in the past things have been had been not well? Now, with regard to giving gifts and not and also in receiving gifts, this is the new instruction in this term of the government, and it has been upheld very closely. Before we attend any ceremony, we inform the organization that we don't intend to receive any souvenirs or gifts. That means in the past you receive as many gifts as possible. Mr. Yu, CMAB 021. And that is enhancing mutual understanding and promoting the understanding of Hong Kong is the task of the ETOs. The administration says that the budget cannot be itemized. But what about the work of the Tourism Bureau or Tourism Commission in the mainland, or Tourism Promotion Board in the mainland? How many projects have been conducted? The second question, well, the Tourism Promotion Board or may not have their offices in the mainland, But what about the offices of the ETO, and also what is the division of labor between the Tourism Board and also the ETO with regard to mainland offices? And the other is CMAB 049 rather, concerning the enhancement of publicity of being hospitable to mainland visitors. We have seen that some people harassing mainland visitors, forcing mainland. I saw a scene in which there was not just harassment but an act of discrimination. Will the administration ask the EOC to do something about it, and there shouldn't be any discrimination against different types of tourists? And if there is still discrimination, will the administration consider changing the law? Well, I have taken note of the issues raised by Mr. Yeo, and Dr. York Chow of the EOC, the chairman of EOC, talked to me on the phone, and he said that he would consider whether under the RDO relevant provisions could be introduced. I support the EOC conducting such a study, and I also welcome them making recommendations on changing the law. And we will also brief the panel on the matter, so Mr. Yeo can make use of that opportunity to follow the matter up. The Permanent Secretary. Yes, the member is right. Our ETO and the placing of our ETO is different from strategy of the TC and the tourist and also the Tourism Board. And the TDC has 13 offices, and the Tourism Board has 4 offices, and we have 5 ETOs. The location of these offices are based on different principles. Apart from, according to the basic law, we need a Beijing office. Other ETOs are tasked to do G2G cooperation and also enhance regional cooperation. As for regional cooperation, emphasis is now put on Guangdong, Shanghai, and Beijing. Time is up. Next, Mr. Tam Yo Chung. I have a question on the opening remarks. Paragraph 6, or rather Part 6, Mainland Affairs in cooperation with Taiwan. The budget will increase from 251.6 will increase to $251.6 million, an increase of 22.4% over the previous year. That may be because we've added a few more offices, and there will not be an increase in Taiwan probably. But we have noticed that Taiwan has a negative understanding towards Hong Kong situation, and which is incorrect. They say that CEPA individual visit schemes are detrimental to Hong Kong's economy. They say that we are in trouble. I want to ask about the HKETCO in Taiwan. They said that it will continue to organize activities promoting Hong Kong. Now, will they consider organizing activities in response to the reporting of Taiwan media on Hong Kong and clarify Hong Kong's situation and tell them that Hong Kong is good? CEPA helps to promote economic development, and the IVS is also good to our economy. Is there any plan that target these issues? The Permanent Secretary, I'll answer part one of the question. The increase this year in comparison with previous year is attributable to three factors. First, the total financial implication for the whole year of the Wuhan office. Number two, we will add 2 more liaison offices. So in terms of manpower and office expenses, there will be substantial increases. In the coming year, together with Guangdong and Macau, we organize the 10th Pearl River Delta Forum. We also have our, and the third is we have our immigration office in the Chengdu office. Therefore, we need to increase our funding for the mainland offices. As for Taiwan, whether we will do some clarification in response to public opinion, we encourage our mainland ETOs and Taiwan ETCO to do promotion work through cultural and tourism activities to enable them the people there to know more about Hong Kong and Taiwan. We stress that Hong Kong is under one country, two systems, a special entity. And whether there is any special promotional strategy, I will ask Mr. Leung, Director of the ETCO, to speak. In response to Mr. Tam's question, we have paid special attention to the media in Taiwan in respect of CEPA, and in Hong Kong they have a certain misunderstanding. Through our daily contact with trade associations and different institutions in Taiwan, we put forward more positive messages on behalf of Hong Kong. And we are also preparing Hong Kong, Taiwan economic forums and seminars. We will we will give them positive messages and also describe to them the actual situation in Hong Kong. Yes, next, Mr. Ip Kok Kim. I want to follow up CMAB 019 and 020, which is about the promotion of the basic law. In the reply, we can see that the administration works through the electronic media and also roving exhibition and other channels. This promotion in terms of the provisions of the basic law. But what about the role of the NPCSC and also the constitutional authority of the NPCSC? It seems that very little has been said in this regard. Will you, therefore, in the future, put more emphasis and provide more information in this regard? In 020 or 020 or 020, there will be a new posts created. Will the new staff members work on the issue in respect of the role of the NPCSC? Now, after the reunification, promotion on the basic law seems to be focused on 2 systems. This year, we have strengthened the promotion on political development. And we will take on board Mr. Ip's will, to put more emphasis on the political arrangements, the role of the central government, so on and so forth. I will bring this back to the committee chaired by the CS for consideration. As for manpower, the PM Secretary will speak on that. The member referred to CMAB 020 on the resources for publicity and manpower in that respect. In 2014-15, there will be a second round of consultation with earmark $12 million for publicity, and we will set up 7 time limited posts. That's for the for the consultation on political development. Another question is on CMAB 021. Concerning liaison with the mainland, you've done a lot. You've set up ETOs in the mainland. When you work on setting up the ETOs, you also need to pay attention to the misunderstanding of Hong Kong citizens towards the mainland. Will you do something more in Hong Kong so that there will be less flags of lions and also less problems mentioned by Mr. Yeo? Hong Kong and the mainland, as I said, in an open occasion, is cooperating under a mutually beneficial and win-win situation. And in fact, we have done a lot in terms of promoting relationship between Hong Kong and the mainland. And apart from this bureau, other bureaus also have a role to play. Say, in particular, when it's a matter relating to tourists, the related bureau or bureaus also have a role to play. As for promoting cooperation, we attach importance to that, and both sides have to work harder. Next, Mr. Tang Ka-Piu. Chairman, my question is in relation to CMAB 064. It's about handling of complaints and getting legal support from the EOC. We help the aggrieved to make complaints from the first mediation to investigation to approval of awards. It takes a very long time. Every time you have to go to Tai Kung Shing. Not everybody lives on the Hong Kong island. People may have to travel a long way. And so there is also a need to pay attention to subjective feelings and emotions. I've noticed that the number of cases has declined under Head 144. It was 611, and in the past it was 718. Has the situation improved, or is it because of the difficulty of making a complaint? And also concerning application for legal aid, it is rather difficult. And that is legal aid under the EOC. The applicant may find it complicated and doesn't apply, but the applicant or complainant has gone to the legal aid to seek help.
Secretary, may I invite my DS to provide more specific information. Thank you. Regarding Mr. Tang's question, EOC is responsible for its own administrative work. So the information we have here may not be as detailed as Mr. Tang expected. As far as we know, when EAC receives a case or a complaint, it will try to mediate. And the time for mediation will depend on the extent of cooperation from the complainant and the complainee. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes shorter. And if the EOC believes a legal aid is needed for a particular case, it has got a panel with a few members to examine each and every case. And if it is considered a worthy case, then a legal aid would be provided. According to information from EOC, cases with legal assistance, the number has been rather steady in the past few years. Regarding how the EOC can improve on its day-to-day administration, we can forward these views to the EOC for further consideration. Thank you. Ms. Starry Lee. Thank you. Yes, my question is also on promoting the basic law. Usually, even with the start of constitution development, there must be continued efforts to promote the basic law because the idea is to engage the public in talks. And I think the public don't really understand the spirit of the basic law. So in promoting the basic law, I hope the administration can bear in mind several points. First, there must be publicity on what is legal, what is a legal way of universal suffrage, because other modes of universal suffrage, if it is not in line with the law, it is illegal. And second, we must understand the purpose of the basic law. In fact, it is very clearly set out in the preamble. Perhaps people have overlooked that. And secondly, the design of our constitutional system under the basic law. We should not just consider Article 45. In my communication with people who know the basic law well, any option that is against the spirit of the basic law may be in breach of the basic law. So if we do not promote the basic law and also the principles for the design of the constitution system in the basic law, we may not grasp the real problem. We are now just amending the ways to amend the CE. We're not amending the basic law or our constitutional setup. I hope there can be more publicity on this. I'd like to ask the Bureau's view. And thirdly, we have got actions to drive the locusts, so to speak, away, and also impolite behavior towards mainland visitors. Have we expressed to the mainland authorities that this is just behavior by a small group of people in Hong Kong, and that doesn't represent the majority of our community here, because we don't want the matter to blow up on the mainland, causing negative impact on Hong Kong. I'd like to know the communications with the mainland authorities. Secretary, yes, I can agree more with Mr. Lee in relation to the promotion of the basic law. And because of the public consultation, in promoting the basic law, we have emphasized a lot on the constitutional design under the basic law. And we have got district activities in all districts, and we'll also enhance our API's publicity. Mr. Lee talked about the preamble and also the legislative purpose. Yes, we will work on that. Next year is the 25th anniversary of the promulgation of the Basic Law. We have asked district officers or district councils to see how we can publicize the implementation of the Basic Law. There will be a publicity plan next year to commemorate the 25th anniversary, and they are now planning it. And we welcome any specific comments or suggestions from members. Subsequent to the incident on Canton Road, through our ETOs, actually on the same day or on the same evening, we've asked the ETOs to notify the various levels of governments the position of the SAR government. From what we've heard, the provinces and cities and municipalities do understand our position. Thank you. Mrs. Regina Ip. Yes, I'd like to ask about expenditure on constitutional development. Now, we know that it is $12 million. As pointed out by members, you have run over 100 events. The Chiao Chow Association, for instance, has hosted an event. You don't really have to spend money on that. And also a 7-time limited posts. What are they? How are you going to spend that $12 million? The government has already produced APIs, posters, and pamphlets, and have also leased advertising space with the slogan or title of the consultation document. But you've got so much money and manpower resources. Why haven't you updated your posters and publicity materials even for DC elections for 6 weeks? We have printed many rounds of pamphlets to respond to views from the public, for instance. Why haven't you done the same? And also the main forming principles of the basic law were to take care of interests of different parties, gradual development to promote the development of capitalism, and to take care of the interests of different sectors. Now, some people have organized an international forum on complying with international standards. Do we conflict with international standards? Why haven't you come out to do the same? You've got so much money and people, so many people. Why haven't you done the same, Secretary? That $12 million, as pointed out in our reply, there will be 3 main areas. We'll spend $8.5 million on forums and APIs, on TVs and radios and printed posters. Take TV APIs as an example. We have got 2 different trailers produced, and towards the end of this week, it's likely that we have the 3rd trailer out. As pointed out by Mrs. Regina Yip, in the light of developments of our public consultation, we will have new publicity materials. Did I get it right? $8.5 million? Well, as pointed out in our paper, we spent $3.1 million on printing, $8.5 million on consultation forums. How much? $8.5 million. And the rest, about $500,000. And they add up to $12 million. The 7 time-limited posts, can I invite the PS to supplement? What about the 7 time-limited posts? What are they? You've got so many people. Even for a district council election, the expenditure ceiling is $50 million and $15,000, and yet we can do a lot. The 7 time-limited posts are AO posts, EO posts, and clerical assistants. We have made reference to a previous similar large-scale consultation exercise. Now we have already received over 10,000 written submissions, and they have to be analyzed, collated, and the results are published in a timely manner. And the 7 time-limited posts will do this. What about international forums? Well, you have got a whole team. You have undersecretary, and you also have people with election experience. Your time is up, I'm afraid. Next, Mr. Wong Ting Kwong. My question is AB 69 and 70 on promotion of the basic law. It is said that a total of 2 new posts will be created, and they are 2 senior executive officer posts to promote the basic law. Well, I think in promotion of the basic law, you talk a lot about rights but not obligations. You talk about rights under the basic law but not obligations of the community under the basic law. I'd like to know how these 2 senior executive officer posts can enhance the promotion of the basic law. And the second question is reply serial number 70. The Hong Kong ETO in Taiwan has assisted 390 visitors from Hong Kong, and they have also handled even inquiries, not just on immigration matters. 2,159 cases, that is on average 8 cases per day. and there is at least one inquiry from a Hong Kong visitor seeking help. I'd like to know what are the nature of the request for assistance. Is it that the Hong Kong ETCO has a heavier workload compared with their counterparts on the mainland? Mr. Lee? Ms. Lee, thank you. One senior EO post will be responsible for promoting the basic law, and the other one is responsible for supporting regional cooperation. The one senior EO post is to offset the work of an NCSO officer promoting the basic law. So the NCSC post will be replaced by the two senior EO posts. The question on Taiwan. Assistance to visitors. There may be economic, cultural, and trade delegations from Hong Kong, or there may be students visiting Taiwan. So the figures are the number of persons. Every year there are a few organizations or deputations visiting Taiwan, and the workload is not too heavy. And as for inquiries, it might be about entry into Taiwan from Hong Kong, and there may be Hong Kong visitors who have lost their passports or documents in Taiwan, and there are also inquiries on business matters. We do have enough manpower to take care of the workload. No, this is not about using a permanent post to replace a supernumerary post. I'm asking what the new posts are going to do in the promotion of the basic law. But your time is up. Dr. N. Jiang. I'd like to ask about the setting up of new ETOs on the mainland. Yes, you will have Wuhan ETO in the northern part and also the eastern part of China, of the mainland. You will also have new offices, but the liaison unit at the eastern region will be under the Shanghai ETO. Well, in identifying a site for the establishment of an ETO or an liaison officer, what criteria do you adopt? I'd like to know how many Hong Kong businessmen are there in the northern part. If you want to serve Hong Kong enterprises, should you choose places where there are more of them?
Director of Bureau. If we are to open a new liaison office, we take into account various factors, including the point raised by Ms. Cheng. We will conduct a study to look into the number of Hong Kong business people and Hong Kong residents living and working and doing business in that region, and also the number of Hong Kong number of companies owned by Hong Kong people. And we also consider the future development of our country. Say, under the 12-5-year plan, Central China is a very important part for development, and therefore we have our Wuhan office there. We also consider supporting facilities like public transport facilities, airports, so on and so forth. If we send our colleagues there, what kind of ancillary support can be provided? We also talk to the relevant municipalities, municipal governments, to see what their attitudes are towards having our liaison units or ETOs in their city. As for the Northeast, having looked into those factors, we believe Shenyang is one of the cities where we can set up such a unit, and we are also considering somewhere in the eastern region. Yes, a follow-up, Mr. Chairman. are there any data or analysis available? Say how many Hong Kong businessmen are doing their business there? Earlier on, when we went to seek financial support for opening our Wuhan office, we provided the data and also the factors under consideration, and we are willing to provide the information at the relevant panel. Chairman, I still have another question on publicity of the of political development. I hope more emphasis should be put on the importance of universal suffrage on Hong Kong and also on our country. At the NPCC meeting, the director of the NPC, or rather the chairman of the NPC, said that it was universal suffrage was related to national security, and people may not understand this.
或者解釋俾我哋即係香港大眾市民。
I hope they can explain. I think the administration should explain that to the people of Hong Kong. The majority of people of Hong Kong love China and love Hong Kong. You need to explain it to them. I agree with Ms. Chang, and I agree that we will step up our efforts in this area. Next, Mr. Christopher Chung. Thank you, Chairman. On political development, the Let's Talk consultation will end on the 3rd of March. The CSOA and the two directors of bureaus have worked hard and talked to various associations and attended many seminars. Recently, an arrangement has been made so the LegCo members can meet with mainland officials and talk to CPG officials. I want to know the view of the Director of Bureau. Is there any leeway for the principle of love Hong Kong, love China? Is there any way, is there any possibility to talk about this? Is there any priority of difference in weight between high popularity and love Hong Kong, love China? Well, I think the issue is not directly related to the FC paper, but I try to answer the question. With regard to love China, love Hong Kong, there cannot be a statutory definition. It involves objective principles as well as subjective assessment. I think we have to leave it to the future nomination committee and also the general public of Hong Kong and also the CPG. As for the issue between popularity rating and love China, love Hong Kong, I know where does the issue arise. But in answering this question, we have to be very careful. With regard to popularity, in many democratic countries, when one is elected, one usually enjoys a high popularity, but once after one is elected, there may be a change in popularity. As for love China, love Hong Kong, that's a natural requirement, but we cannot define it in the law. Mr. Chung. Well, as for love Hong Kong, love China, one should support Hong Kong's reunification with China and also support the basic law. Should it also be tested by actual behavior, or is it just test against words only? Now, this is not directly related, but since you are promoting this, if we say that love China, love Hong Kong is a requirement of the CEE, I've already answered that question. When the incumbent, or rather when the candidate is to swear in, one has to swear allegiance to the basic law and also the PRC under Article 104 of the Basic Law. Whether one is the CE or a Director of Bureau, one has to get the support of the public by one's performance. action is more important than words. Next, Mr. Chen Jiqun, my first question is CMAB 001, the Code of Practice Against Discrimination in Employment on the Ground of Sexual Orientation. I want to know how many organized institutions or companies have the administration contacted to promote this. There is no such reply, no such number. I have seen this publicity that is really standard government promotion. Any organization that supports adopting the code can dial the hotline. How many how many have responded and give their support? Why don't you have the number? Recently, there is a school requiring its staff members to sign an undertaking that they are not homosexuals, otherwise they will be dismissed. Will the administration continue to promote the code? If the school doesn't listen, what action will be taken? The other is CMAB 006. It's about two consultancy studies. First, discrimination against sexual minorities. Second, on stalking. Concerning the study on sexual minorities, what is the policy objective of the study? Is it a preparation for legislation against sexual orientation discrimination, or is it just a way of dragging feet? And will the outcome be published? For stalking, 8 people is involved, $850,000. For sexual minority study, 445,000, and 12 staff members involved. Why there's a big difference? And what's the reason? What are the grounds for coming up with such a budget? Now, first on the code. About more than 6 months ago, I issued an invitation to many organizations asking them to adopt the code voluntarily and ask them to call back. And I'm happy to provide the information after the meeting in writing. The Undersecretary, concerning the study on discrimination against sexual minorities, we have already started the study. The result will be given to the task force for discussion. Whether the results will be disclosed, the task force can make a decision. As for stalking law or legislation against stalking, we have drafted a report and we've already published the report, and we have given to the committee to discuss. As for the difference in budget, the nature of the studies are different, and therefore the budgets are different. What about the distribution resources in the study? Well, basically, the study is done through tendering. Next, Ms. Priscilla Leung. Now, concerning political development and universal suffrage and political reform, the election has to comply with the Constitution. If it is not in compliance with basic law, if it's not in compliance with the Constitution, then there has to be a revolution. Now, Article 45 of the Basic Law prescribes the relationship between the mainland and Hong Kong. We have to look at the nature of the Basic Law. I have a chance to study the Basic Law for more than 20 years. It is a mixture of Chinese law and common law. When it comes to relationship between China and a local region, you have to look at the nature of basic law. Basic law is under the Chinese Constitution. If it is about public authority, if it is not prescribed, then civil nomination is not in line with the basic law. I think this should be very clear. I hope that after May, you will inform members of public that this is the case. There shouldn't be any misunderstanding. Just like the situation in Taiwan, at first is something good, but they make it a mess. In fact, it's good for Taiwan. In Hong Kong, we shouldn't allow people to be misled. If people are not misled, you have a higher chance of success. The other question is CMAB 043. My question is on the ICS. The ICS issued a set of guidelines. Somebody write to the Education Bureau asking for penalizing that school, and many religious organizations are very concerned. They think that they are under white terror. Is there any religious freedom in Hong Kong? Is there any freedom of running education institutions in Hong Kong? They say they are a Christian school, and many parents send their children to this Christian school because they have a preference for that, for the moral standard they uphold. And therefore the school requires the teachers to hold moral standard that is in line with that of school. Now, even if we don't have the law, Mr. Chen Chi-chin has already asked for penalizing that school. And if there is the law, then there will be no freedom of expression or freedom in terms of education. And even lecturers at school will also, lecturers in universities or professors in universities will be barred from giving their own opinions. And I am a member of that task force, and in fact, we belong to the minority. Now they say when they emphasize respecting the views of other people, the sexual minority should also respect those who hold different views from them. But there is no such publicity, and it is not in the record, and there is no and voting is not allowed. I ask not to spend money on survey, and the professional consultants say that it is really rare in conducting a survey. Advertisement has to be put up to invite the target groups to come along and give opinions. Is it really meaningful to have such a task force? Do you have a preconceived idea? Do you have a position formed first before you do consultation? Now your publicity asks for tolerance. Are you just speaking on one-sided tolerance? The Undersecretary, concerning the case of the school is now they're now doing internal consultation. Next, Mr. Ma Fung Kwok. Thank you, Chairman. I want to follow up the question on CMAB 049. The expenditure on reducing discrimination against new arrivals and mainland visitors. The reply from the director is rather empty. You don't respond on the amount of money spent. You just say you promote harmonious community, and you also want to spread out the tourist attractions. I think the issue is just on tourists. The emphasis is just put on tourism, but they have not attached importance to the importance of conflict between Hong Kong people and the mainland.
Mr. Yu also made known his position, and he asked whether there could be legislation to tackle this. The CMB has the duty to ensure that mainland compatriots understand the overcrowdedness in Hong Kong, and you should also let mainlanders understand that the discrimination against mainland visitors is just the doing of a small group of very radical people in Hong Kong. However, your answer has failed to address these issues. I'd like to ask the Bureau, how do you assess the serious discrimination against mainland visitors? As pointed out by a member, every week there is nuisance caused to mainland visitors. So what are you going to do? Do you have any legislation to tackle this? And will you educate mainlanders when in Hong Kong, if they come across such behavior, how should they respond? Is there any avenue for them to complain? Because if we do not do anything about it, such behavior will seriously undermine the relations between Hong Kong and the mainland. So I'd like to know what measures are there to remedy the situation. Secretary, well, I will first answer a part of the question and the PS can supplement. First, when I answered Mr. Yu Shi Wing's question, I mentioned that the chairman of UOC would review the legislation to see whether there is any room to work on this issue in the law. I hope that when they have come up with anything concrete, they can discuss with my bureau to see how we can work together. And secondly, publicity on the mainland, as I said, will enhance our liaison communications with governments of cities, provinces, and municipalities. And if there is incident that may cause misunderstanding between the two places, we'll explain the position of the government to them. We will do this, and will enhance the resources of our ETOs to do this. I think we need inter-bureau efforts. The CS4A chairs a cooperation committee with the mainland, and we have representatives from different policy bureaus. I'll bring this issue back to see whether we can have some inter-bureau efforts to tackle the problem. PS, no, I don't think there is time for that. 4 members are waiting to ask questions. For the first time, there would just be enough time for all of them. Mr. Tony Z. Thank you, Chairman. Many people are working or studying or living on the mainland. We also got liaison units and ETOs on the mainland. I'd like to see whether the government has taken the initiative to find out contact of Hong Kong residents on the mainland to offer them support and services and give them information on our elections, constitutional or political development, or even in future when we have other consultation exercises, we can let them know. Or is it that we don't have their contact and there is no way to liaise with them? And the second question is CMABO87, my question. Now, $185.9 million have been earmarked for the 2015 DC elections. Because we have Hong Kong residents living on the mainland, are we going to give them information of the district council elections? And when there are DC elections, can these people vote on the mainland while they are in the mainland? The Chief Electoral Officer will answer this question. Mr. Lee, thank you. In the 2014-15 draft estimates, we have another $185 million more. One of the reasons is because of the 2015 District Council elections. They will cover staff costs, office premises, and storage space, and also other networking facilities. There will also be money spent for publicity. Under the relevant legislation, all electors must have an Hong Kong address, and public consultation of electors takes place in Hong Kong in the main. So if no intention to carry out publicity of local elections in places outside Hong Kong. Madam Zhang, as regards how we can identify Hong Kong residents living on the mainland and to find out their needs. In his policy address last year, the CE said that he would greatly enhance communications and contact with mainland cities. So we have boosted manpower dedicated to this task, and we've also enhanced publicity efforts. On our website, we provide information, and we've also got pamphlets, and through our ETO staff, they are greatly enhancing their contact points, so that we'll try to have contacts of Hong Kong residents studying or living on the mainland. For Hong Kong enterprises, we have always done a good job. We hope that when necessary, ETOs can have access to more Hong Kong residents on the mainland and serve them better. And as for resources, when we have cultural activities and publicity campaigns on the mainland, well, we have reserved a few $1 million for that. Thank you. Dr. Helena Wong. I have 3 questions, Chairman. The first relates to reply number CMAB 048. So the CMAB has earmarked $60 million for promotion of the basic law and political development. I'd like to know whether that $60 million has covered money dispersed to district councils for them to carry out publicity of the basic law and political development. If yes, how can the administration monitor that such funds are spent in the proper manner and there will be no transfer of interest to some organizations? And the second question is CMAB 051 in relation to EOC. In 2014-15, there were 16 and 74 cases involving discrimination on the basis of sex and pregnancy. So you encourage EOC to help the 2 parties to conciliate, and failing that, the EOC will provide legal assistance. So I'd like to know, have a breakdown of these cases. How many of them were settled by conciliation? How many by litigation? Would it be the case that most of the cases were settled by conciliation? And if yes, is it because of a lack of resources on the part of EOC? And if so, is it does it really help to promote equal opportunities? And then the third question is CMAB 036, a question by Ms. Emily Lau. I'm concerned about the equal opportunities enjoyed by ethnic minorities. Some parents came to complain to me. They did not know that students could apply for student assistance, financial assistance. Perhaps they cannot read either English or Chinese, and there is no one in schools to tell parents this. It is said here that $4.69 million will be provided for the EOC to set up a working group or task force. I'd like to know how other departments will help the EOC, and will there be resources to help ethnic minorities to overcome unequal treatments they face? Yes, we have over $16 million for promotion of the basic law, but this doesn't include the $250,000 for each district council to promote the basic law. As for a breakdown of cases of conciliation and legal settlement, we will provide the information later. I think EOC has got sufficient resources because EOC had not used up the provision for legal assistance to complainants last year, but we will relay this concern to the EOC, and later on this month, the EOC will report to the panel its work last year. And support for ethnic minorities. It is one of the priorities in the policy address to enhance support for ethnic minorities. If students have to apply for financial assistance, how will the Education Bureau assess? Well, for integration into society, the HAD also helps, and this bureau is responsible for legislation against discrimination, and resources have been provided for that. Ms. Sit-Ho. I have a question on paragraph 15 of the Secretary's speaking notes. That is, you're already helping or you're already supporting the nation's national 12th five-year plan. Now, in Taiwan, people felt that the scrutiny of EFA was not fair, and hundreds of thousands of people took to the streets to protest. But for us in Hong Kong, there is no public consultation. For some agreements, even after they were signed, we wanted for them to be published, but to no avail. I'm talking about the agreement on Qianhai. And now you're going to start the planning of the National 13th five-year plan. You claim here that you would like to consult different sectors of the community. I'd like to know the public money and also the level of government officials deployed to consult the sector. Even for CEPA, there was no public consultation. Only the sectors were consulted. But you can see the conflicts between Hong Kongers and mainlanders as a result of the individual visit scheme. If you don't consult the public first before concluding future agreements, you can envisage the possible resistance from the public. Is it because you don't have enough resources so that you're not going to consult the public, or is it because of other reasons and you will only consult the relevant industry? Can you please give us an answer? Thank you. I will have a go first, and the PS will supplement. For the National 13th five-year plan, I think there was a briefing to the TI panel. Of course, the business sector as well as the council is our major targets of consultation. As regards the work, the PS can supplement. Members may recall that when we were working on the National 12th five-year plan, back then there was no dedicated chapter or passage on Hong Kong and Macau. And members of the council were concerned as to how Hong Kong would be remembered or had a place in the 12th five-year plan. There was a motion debate and there were concerns expressed. With that experience, we're going to do it in a few phases when it comes to the 13th five-year plan. We have got views from several policy bureaus where we should ask for concessions of favorable treatment in the coming 13th five-year plan. We've asked relevant bureaus to consult their own advisory bodies or industries. Now, if the council or if this panel or this committee is interested, we are more than happy to provide to members information we have from 9 or 8 organizations.
I think the best thing is to have everything open and disclosed to the public. Members of the public may not support everything, so you shouldn't just do closed-door consultation among the trades and industries. Even otherwise, people may have strong reactions, even if you have given some success. Yes, time is up. Yes, certainly we'll consult members. There are 2 members who still want to speak, and I therefore allow them to have 2 minutes so that we have 4 minutes less for rest. You only have 2 minutes, Mr. Chung. I have 2 questions. see if he can answer my question. In his speech, item 6, Mainland and Taiwan affairs, $250 odd million for Mainland and Taiwan offices. How much do you give Taiwan? Is it an average increase of 22.4%, or some bigger increases, some small increases, and two sides add up together 22.4%? What more should you do with Taiwan? Number 2, regional cooperation, para 18. A super connector. What do you mean by that?
自己走出去，你即係有冇即係政府有冇話分？
As for going global, what are the target industries or target trades for helping the mainland to go global? I will answer the first question in writing after the meeting. We can provide the numbers. It's more convenient to do it in writing. As for bringing in and going out, that's our task over the years, and that will be our task in the future. That will based on the advantages of the various trades and industries, and also based on Hong Kong's advantages as a trade and international trade and financial center. We cooperated with some provinces, say for example with Guangdong, and did say for example with Guangdong, we did roadshows with Guangdong to go overseas to invite businesses from overseas to invest in Guangdong. Last one, Mr. James Tian. Thank you, Chairman. 0551, question 0051. Now the administration is going to set up, or rather the administration has offices in Guangdong, Chengdu, Shanghai, Beijing, $150 million. I've heard it in the post address. Hong Kong people are asked to do business in the mainland, and there is no opportunity in Hong Kong. I want to ask, say on various levels you play a leading role and coordinating role. The 4 offices will do that. You spend so much money on the 4 offices. When people go to your offices, you just do a referral. Say if you want to put up buildings, you go to the relevant lands authorities of that city. If you want to recruit workers, you go to the labor authority of relevant cities. It seems that you just a mailbox, you do the referral, you are not doing coordination or taking the lead. So, in fact, how are you helping the Hong Kong businessmen in the mainland? 0551 is equivalent to CMAB 060. In CMAB 060, we made reference to enhancing regional cooperation with the mainland in various regions, and also we've provided the distribution of the budget for various offices. The ETOs provide, or the mainland offices provide a coordinating role in terms of government services provided by the SARG. Public bodies such as the TDC and the Tourism Bureau, they also have mainland offices. We adopt a client or customer-oriented approach. The various offices can work together and provide one-stop service. That's what we mean. Okay, time is up. We have made full use of the time allotted for this session. The next session will begin after 5 minutes. Thank you. Meeting is now adjourned.